I don't know, but I feel like when you're high up, the way you handle crime on the higher levels is not clear cut. You can fight crime, you can fight the syndicates, but don't close the taps. Because closing the taps can have other consequences. So when you're at a certain level in crime fighting and all these things, it would appear that you need to be able to let that ecosystem run in a manner that will allow you to run.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the On the podcast.
Am I allowed to swear in here?
In Sweden.
Yeah, I know we said let's not play the government.
It's just sad when we start them
No,
becoming
but-
indoctrinated. Your view on me.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the On the Contrary podcast. We are still here. I'm feeling much better. I thought I was dying. If you saw the last video, you could barely hear a single thing that I was saying. This thing of forcing content when you're not ready is a problem. But I'm here now, a lot more legible. I can speak for longer. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go watch 5 minutes of the last episode. But we're here now, and we're back with another episode. What are we talking about today? Hey man, it was hot in Durban this weekend. Huh? KZN was hot, and I'm not even talking about Durban July. Durban July looked fire. All the stories, all the pictures, yeah man, proper FOMO. Then on Sunday, after we knew which horse had won, the general, the big dog, Mkhwanazi, decided he is going to do a press conference and let everyone know the people who have been getting in the way of the investigations that he's been running, especially when it comes to political killings in KZN. He's been trying to be on top of it and track who's making the hits, who's calling the hits, who's making the hits, who all is involved, how deep does this thing go. And according to him, the Minister of Police has been the one that's been making things difficult. He's not behaving like a minister who wants to get to the bottom of these things. Now, without all the detail, the real question is, and someone said it like, so what are we supposed to do with this information now? What are we supposed to do with this information, General Mkhwanazi? Some will say that we are a country that is very comfortable with crime. We endorse crime. We are all corrupt in our certain ways. When it comes to bribing a police officer, you are corrupt, the police officer is corrupt. When it comes to just like general things that South Africans do to avoid the law, whether it's chapeauing your box set for the electricity, whether it's this, that, and the other. So we all got that down. And maybe my video is coming at this thing from that angle. Because in my head, and I think for a lot of people, when you are a powerful person, whether it's a minister, whether it's a police officer, whether it's junior, mid to high level management or seniority, even if you are the president, I don't know, but I feel like when you're high up, the way you handle crime on the higher levels is not clear cut. It's not as obvious as what they do it, as how they do it in the movies. Do you know what I mean? Because here's the issue that Andre de Ruyter at ESCOM, because ANC people were telling Andre de Ruyter, yo man, you can fight crime, you can fight the syndicates, but don't close the taps. Because closing the taps can have other consequences. So when you're at a certain level in crime fighting and all these things, it would appear that you need to be able to let that ecosystem run in a manner that will allow you to run. Because now with the flop that Andre de Ruyter came into, You get what I'm saying? The flop that underrated came into is that he tackled these syndicates too head on, with not as much tact, and it was more of fighting all crime, any crime, zero tolerance for crime, which apparently doesn't work. You actually just supposed to find a equilibrium where crime is manageable and you can appease certain people so that you are doing the real proper things. You can still go ahead and do proper things. I'll make another example. It's not only South Africa. They said one big mistake that America made when they were fighting or getting revenge for 9/11 and all those things is to go into the Middle East and take out certain terror groups. But taking out a terror group who is well regulated and there's a balance in the ecosystem of terror versus peace is that you create a gap, and when there's a gap in the market, the amount of crime and the amount of terror that's going to happen there is going to give rise to something stronger than what you knew. The devil you knew type of thing. In me thinking of all this General Mkhwanazi thing, I'm wondering, when you are going after the minister or calling out the minister, and it might be now clear-cut and easy that the minister is corrupt, is evil, he's a fan of crime, he is the syndicate, whatever. And he might as well be. But none of us have seen the evidence. None of us are going to be in the court to fight this thing. We want them to fight it, and don't get me wrong. We're happy that General Mkhwanazi has come out and said something. But now it might seem clear-cut that the minister is corrupt. But is it corruption if what you are doing is just creating a balance? Because now if you just go and attack criminals, they can sabotage you. Like the Raider just attacked syndicates, and then they started sabotaging the plants, throwing spanners down the turbines, throwing spanners down the engines. So now, however good a manager you are as under the Raider, however good a CEO you are, you have now created a problem where the syndicates are hitting you like that. And there's no way you're going to get those out because they got a lot of henchmen working for Eskom, working outside of Eskom. So when you are president and a minister, are you playing those type of games where you are there to create a balance? Like even the guys who are doing crime, they're doing it with your permission. It's like, yo, you can do this and I'll make sure that you can steal this much, but no further you will go. Do you know what I mean? Let there at least be someone, a godfather of sorts, who decides how far you can go with your crime. Now I'm sure what happens is now you get factions in this thing where I'm sure the good dude, the General Mkhwanazi, what we believe he is, and there's no evidence to the contrary, but I'm sure even in his day-to-day, he needs to manage crime in a manner where it's not like we take out everyone. Because in all honesty, South Africans, Mkhwanazi himself, everybody, we know who the criminals are. We know who's selling drugs. We know who the hitmen are. In KZN, we know who killed AKA. We know. But those relationships, why is Mkhwanazi not coming out to do the mastermind of that? Do you know what I mean? Not we know, but we all have a good idea. So in crime fighting, especially on that high level, is it more important to have zero tolerance for crime or find a balance? Because now the situation between the minister and the commissioner in KZN, you find that they both are serious about fighting crime, but they're on different factions on who should give who permission and who should be the regulator of crime. Crime fighting is not crime fighting. I think SAPS or Army and whatever, CIA, FBI, whatever, You must be in the business of regulating crime. You can't take out all of them, guys. You can't take out all of them. You can kill a murderer. You can kill a thief, but you can't kill murder. That spirit of murder is just going to go on to the next person who's going to fill that gap. You can't kill drug dealing. You can kill a drug dealer, you can kill a drug boss, but you cannot kill that position. That position will always be there. So let me know what you think, man. Is it a situation where, yo, man, zero tolerance for crime? Mkhwanazi is right. They must lay charges. They must do this. But also then they say this thing is so widely and deeply infiltrated. What is the process when you want to get? Because hits, apparently, no one's just allowed to do hits, bro. You don't just do hits for fun. Those things are regulated. You need permission. Because if you are out here putting hits on people and you don't know what their affiliation is, you're putting yourself in danger and you put everyone else in danger. You need to also get sign off when you're doing high profile hits. So, what is the situation here with Mkhwanazi and Mchunu? What do you think? What do you think? And all these guys, man. All these guys, they are all these. This is not me saying this. This is just stuff you hear in the media. All these politicians accused of being gangsters and hitmen. They say Paul Mashatile is in the, what do you call this thing? Alex Mafia. I don't know about the Alex Mafia, but it sounds like Paul Mashatile was calling shots there. And then stories with his friends. From KZN, funny enough, Anele Tembe's father is also now in the stories, and Paul Mashatile said he's his friend, and he also seems like a serious dude that no one messes with in KZN, and now there's a lotto tender. Hey, Bafit. This thing is organized. But now, Mchunu and Mkhwanazi, yeah, man. Tell me what you'll think, man. I feel this thing might not be as clear cut. It's just coming out in the media and saying stuff. But here's another important thing that we must always remember in the balance. The most important thing in the balance of things, whether you say we need some crime, not no crime, whether people can't just go reckless, you can't just go and turn off the taps, it's going to create new problems. The most important part of that balance is the people. The most important part of all these things, because the people know that crime is going on. We know there's politicians that are untrustworthy, and even ones that we trust, that we don't realize that they are bad. We're fine with it. But the day when they take it too far, is when, if the people turn on you, if that equilibrium is off, it will throw the whole system off and destabilize that whole hierarchical structure. So, in all of this stuff that these powerful people are doing, with Mkhwanazi is just a faction of a different criminal regulator, and the minister is just another criminal regulator on opposite ends of an ideology. They must just remember, when you come out like this, you are destabilizing the people. And when the people are enough, it's going to topple that whole thing, and the whole top is going to change. So that's why it's important, even if we know we are all criminals and stuff, you don't act like it. You still need some semblance of keeping up a facade, because the people need to be in balance as well. As soon as it's too obvious that you are taking us for stupids, the people will revolt. And when the people revolt, whether it's with riots, whether it's with protests, whether it's with insurrections in other instances, you need to keep the people happy. That's why something like GBV GBV needs to be taken seriously, because these GBV incidents are happening way more often. But the thing that's happening more often is the people turning and saying enough. And if they don't take this GBV thing seriously, and if nothing is done about it, and the people see, and women particularly, who's had enough, if they turn, it's going to turn society upside down. And everyone in power who thinks they're running the show and whatever, you can't run a show if the people aren't in line. And all these incidences of crime going too far, of GBV going too far, people doing nothing about this, people doing nothing about this. Even unemployment is, if the unemployment numbers hit that, I don't think it has hit critical mass yet. But if you are stealing so much that we are so unemployed and we are so poor and we are so desperate, you're going to dismantle that whole thing, and whatever power you think you have up there will amount to nothing if no one listens to you. So let me know what you'll think of this whole thing. Where should this thing go? Have we seen this before? Is this just infighting? Is this just factional games and battles? Like, what's going on? Some people are saying that Mkhwanazi mustn't just be a populist and a superstar and want to do these things for clout. No, guys, this thing is not clear-cut, and we think we figured it out. This thing is not clear-cut. By the time the minister comes back, he's going to have responses and excuses for everything. And also, we are not the court of law. It's not for us to say who's right, who's wrong, and who's done this. Let's do court, let's do parliamentary inquiry, and then we take it from there. However effective a parliamentary inquiry or state inquiry might be. But anyway, that's the story for today. Please follow or subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know what you think. How should we tackle this thing? Is it for us to tackle, or is it for those people that are higher than us? Let me know. Don't forget to like, share the video if you so wish, but commenting is very important. I reply to everyone, whether you are nice, whether you are mean. Yeah. But most of all, thank you for watching. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the On the Turn podcast.
Am I allowed to swear there?
Then swear, man.
Yeah, I know we said let's not blame the government.
It's just sad when we start them becoming indoctrinated.
Your view on me.